Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My name is Dr. Evangelos GIKONTES, and I would like to touch a point, the point of the relationship between species in the world, in the earth, in our planet. The question is, are we the superior being? Or are we the only superior being? What are other organisms that are competing with us and we don't know? Because as the Art of War of Sun Tzu says, it's better that your opponent does not know who his opponent is or who is competing with him. So these alien to us species are doing a kind of war that is under the obvious. It is in the unobvious. So that's why this video is being made, to help you differentiate between our enemies and our friends, and to help us recognize some of our enemies. So, without further ado, I go straight to the point. The first microorganism that was competing with us for its life and for its survival were the microbes. The microbes or germs are not viruses. The virus is a completely different form of parasitic organism. What is a parasitic organism? A parasitic organism is the organism that lives at our expense. It uses us to survive. And sometimes it may kill us on its attempt to survive. Of course, if it kills us, it dies itself, or it jumps to another host, to another person, to another man, to another human. But if it kills the other human also, then it's dangerous for it. So that's why it's careful not to kill us. But it wants us to survive. Because then, if we survive, we are its hosts. We are its neighbors, we are its house. So if we survive, it survives. So the first simple form of antagonistic alien microorganism were the microbes. Then were the viruses, and then were the fungi. The fungi is the enemy of the human race, as far as I'm concerned, in the future. So the simplest form was the microbes, that they died very easily. They caused very big plagues, and they killed the people, they killed themselves also. They died easily, and they were easy to exterminate. How did they become easy to exterminate? Because at first they exterminated themselves, because they exterminated all the people. So they had no hosts. So what Fleming did was, I don't know if you know the story of Fleming, who invented penicillin. Penicillin is a medication that kills germs, that kills microbes. But it is produced by a fungus called Penicillinosporum. So what is the story, to be quick about it, what is the story of the fungus and of the antibiotics? When there were the big plagues in the UK and all over the world, there was big funding, and scientists were competing between themselves who will find the best cure, or who will find the cure, because then he could make a lot of money and he could save a lot of people, which is the primary cause. Excuse me. So what happened was that Fleming was the investigator and was one of the investigators, and he had a lot of Petri dishes. The Petri dish is a round, small dish, kind of dish, like this big, and we put nutritional material on it, and we put the germs, the microbes, and they multiply, and we see macroscopically, not macroscopically, what the germ is, but we can also take it and put it under the microscope and see what the kind of germ we have, microbe. It's the same. So what happened was he didn't have time to go out of the laboratory to eat, and he used to eat sandwiches. And one day, a small piece of cheese or a small piece of bread, I don't know what it is, it's not important, fell into the Petri dish, where the Petri dish had microbes for culture. So what happened was that there was a halo created around the small piece of bread that had fallen into the Petri dish, because the small piece of bread became blue because of the fungi. It became rotten, it rotted. And this kind of blue substance Fleming got, and he gave it first like this to the patients. And the patients became better, and they didn't die, and they became well. So Fleming searched, and he found out that this was caused by a fungus, which fungus was called Penicillinosporum. And from there, he got penicillin G, which was the crystalline penicillin, which was the first penicillin that was injected to humans and made them well and killed the germs, the microbes. Now, the question is, why did penicillin kill the microbes? Why did a substance taken from fungi kill the germs? Do you have an answer for that? I'll give you the answer in a minute. But do you think that penicillin loved the people, loved the human race, and it wanted to help the human race? What was the penicillin? An alien that got down from outer space, an alien species. It was an alien species, but it wasn't friendly to humans. Now, again, for the last time, why did penicillin, a product of fungi, kill the microbes? Did it love the human nation, the human, all the earth, the human race? Penicillin had no feelings. Here's the answer. The reason why penicillin killed the microbes was not that it loved the people and the human race, was that it was competing with the microbes for the human host. Now, from then on, when penicillin G was found, Fleming was recognized as a big benefactor, and he got prizes and recognition, although what he did was introduce to the human race a species which was, I don't know, probably alien, but this is not the point of this presentation. Fleming introduced to the human race a species which was stronger in occupying the human body. Now, the germs and the microbes were living inside us because they found nutrients and heat and warmth and water and everything that they needed to survive. This was more important for the fungi. So the fungi, through the antibiotics, fought the microbes on our behalf. And after this race, which is continuing up to now, still, they are continuously all through this time since penicillin was found, because all antibiotics were produced from fungi. Penicillin was produced from Penicillinosporum, which is a fungus. Streptomycin was produced by the fungus Streptomyces. Erythromycin produced by Erythromyces, and so on. So it's not actually a big achievement, this thing. It's not actually saving the human race, because the germs were stronger but were more stupid, because yes, these species tend to have an understanding of their own, tend to have their own way of fighting and of moving and of taking over the human body. So what happens is that now, in 2024, we don't have a nation, a race, the human race, which is banged, which is annoyed, which is bothered by the microbes. The microbes have come to a second place. What we have now is a human race that is under the condition of opposition. It's like a war. The fungi now are looking to take over the human body. And this is a war that is being done in every single human body, and at the same time on the human race altogether. So what happens is that we now have an eruption of Candida albicans, which is the white fungus, and we have a lot of people with eczemas that are being caused from fungi, because we didn't have then eczemas and itches from fungi. The fungus is stronger on its occupation to the human body. It's more difficult to eradicate. It's growing deep into the gut, making hyphae, which and help us have the leaky gut. And it's being said that the fungus can control the human mind in a simple way, creating cravings for sugar and for nutrients that the fungi take, that the fungi live with. Now, this is not a video to explain everything to you, because that would take a lot of hours. This is just a video to give you some points so that you can think by yourselves and research by yourselves, and maybe in future videos we will say more things about that. Now, let's go back to history. Before Fleming, microbes, germs. After Fleming started the introduction of the other aliens, which is Candida. From Fleming up to now, 23, 24, we have the war of Candida trying to take over the human body and trying to live and giving us, we have the Herxheimer phenomenon, that if we eradicate Candida very quickly from our body, we are in the danger of dying ourselves, because Candida is very much interlaced with our human body, which did not happen before with the microbes. Now, what is the future? The future is that we have Candida glabrata. Candida glabrata is the successor of Candida albicans, and it is much stronger than Candida albicans, and it will bring a new era of fungus domination or attempt for domination. I don't want to sound too emotional. I'm not emotional, or too radical. It's just an idea, just a notion, and I'm giving it to you not to accept it necessarily, but to search it, to research it, and to do your own research. So, microbes, Candida albicans, in the future, after 2029, 2030, we will have Candida glabrata, which will be much stronger and much more difficult to eradicate. Now we can eradicate Candida albicans, and we have devised a system which can help us prevent the growth of Candida albicans in the body. Now, microbes, Candida albicans, Candida glabrata, 2030, about then. And after Candida glabrata, what are we going to have? We are going to have other fungi, like Ganoderm and lion's mane, and a lot of other fungi will start to grow. That, what will they do, these fungi? They will keep our body alive, and they will make it stronger. We will live longer, and they maybe even help us tolerate cancer better and more, so that we live longer, so that they have complete dominance over our body. These fungi, we will not be able to stop. These fungi, we will be taking them ourselves, because they will be helping us. We will be having more energy. We will live longer. We will get sick less. Why? Because we will be under the dominance of a fungus like, I don't know, I'm giving you only examples, lion's mane and Ganoderm, and there are a lot of others. So why are these fungi giving us energy? Why are these fungi giving us stamina? Because they want us to be stronger, and because they are feeding from this energy. How do we understand that? While we are taking lion's mane and other fungi that will be necessary, or depends to us if they will be necessary or not, we will not have allergies, we will not have problems with the gut, and especially with the large intestine. But when we start to stop them, when we stop them for some time, then gradually, at the beginning we will have no problems, but then gradually we may have problems like allergies or diarrheas or constipation or loss of energy, so that these fungi will make us start the treatment again, so that we take more fungi. This is one of these fungi. When the ant eats it, then it dies, and they take the ant to the other ants, take it to another place to die, not so that they are not contaminated with fungi. And then the fungi get out of its head, and they grow from the brain of the dead ant. Now, this is a fungus like lion's mane. It's not called lion's mane. It's, let me see if I can find here the box. It is cordyceps. Cordyceps. This thing happens with cordyceps, with the ant that I mentioned before. So, to finish this video, which has I've kept you for a long time, and I'm sorry about that. At the beginning, we had a very simple form of microorganism that was competing, an alien microorganism that was competing with our body, which was the germs and microbes, which still exist but are on the succession curve of the Candida, which is a fungus, because the fungi were stronger and came over, and it's much more difficult to eradicate a fungus now than to eradicate a germ. And I'm not talking about the viruses, because the viruses are just DNA strands, DNA parts, or RNA parts, so it's simple form. And that's why the viruses can be engineered in the laboratory, while the germs and the fungi cannot be engineered. They can only be grown, the fungi. So think about that, and look at it from far, and see how we started from the microbes, the germs. Then we got Candida albicans. We are in the future going towards Candida glabrata, and we already have a domination of the fungi to our brain, of Candida to our brain and to our gut and to our whole body. We also have a withdrawal phenomenon. When we try to eradicate Candida very fast, we get sick ourselves also. This shows how much a grasp Candida has on our body. And in the future, we will have other fungi like Ganoderm, lion's mane, cordyceps, that will be taking over our body in a much more straightforward, open, and dangerous way, thus changing our body. Because it's not that different organisms are taking over our body from time to time. It's that we do not recognize that. We are not in the know. This is happening under the curtains, under the trenches, in the trenches, and we do not know what is happening. So this video is being made just for us to understand what is happening to our body. This is just to start conversations, not to teach anything to anyone. And thank you very much for being here, and hope to see you again. Thank you. Bye-bye.